Hello, beautiful souls. Okay, we are back. I had to delete some stuff off of my device because it's getting pretty full. But so we're talking about reprogramming today, and this is the final step in the steps that we are discussing, and the steps that I've been discussing on how to stop procrastinating so that you can start achieving your life's goals. So we talked about how it's due to your old personality, basically the old way that you've been thinking, behaving, and feeling emotionally, the old beliefs that you hold that have kept you where you are currently in life. We talked about how what you focus on expands and how your reality is created from how you believe and think and from your belief systems and from who you are. And therefore, if you have any goal to change your present reality to a different state in the future, at some point you're going to have to look at stripping away certain aspects of your old personality to adopt the aspects of this new person that you see yourself being in the future when you've accomplished this goal, regardless of what your goal is. We talked about visualization as well. You have to be able to visualize yourself in the future state of having that goal, losing that weight, having lost, not in the process of losing it, but it's already done. Look, you have to be able to visualize yourself with the goal already having been accomplished, and go through the mental exercise and process through either visualization and or meditation of thinking about how you would feel and think and believe and act differently as the person who's achieved this goal that's so important to you. Once you've achieved it, how will you feel and think and act and believe and move and talk differently than you do now? What would that new person look like? How would they treat other people? How would they treat you? How will you treat yourself? And when that time comes, think outside of your current reality. And if you're not able to think outside of your current reality, then you're not ever going to be able to move forward. If you cannot imagine yourself in that future state, then you're not going to ever be able to achieve it. And once you have that image in your mind, you're going to start working on your reprogramming. And what the reprogramming does is it instills confidence in you where you before were showing fear and doubt and worry or not feeling well. So it restores confidence, and it gives you permission to feel all of those feelings that you imagine yourself feeling in the future, state when you have your goals accomplished right now. And there's an importance to feeling those things right now that is associated with the law of attraction, which I'm not going to get into in this video, but I am going to make a video right after this one about it. But there's a very, very huge importance that cannot be underestimated when it comes to allowing yourself to feel the feelings of whatever you're going to feel, whatever reason you want to achieve your goal. We all set goals for different reasons because eventually the goal is going to allow us to feel a certain way: happy, successful, sexy, loved, accomplished in life, proud, or we can make someone else, we want to do it to make someone else proud, so that we can feel worthy. There's always some feeling that we're after whenever we set a goal. So think about what that feeling is that you're after, and then allow yourself to feel that feeling as though your goal was already accomplished. And the importance of doing that, besides the stuff that has to do with the law of attraction mentally, the importance of doing that is because it puts you in a state of loving yourself so that you can create and feel motivated to do whatever it is you have to do. When you're constantly beating yourself up with that old monkey mind that has kind of been running loose, until you became more aware of the tools that you have intellectually to harness it. With that old monkey mind, we're constantly beating ourselves up. Man, you let another day go by and you didn't do anything towards your goal, or you're still, doing this and you said you were going to do that, or you keep messing up, or look at your competition. Your competition is doing great and you're still where you were 5 years ago or 5 weeks ago. We're constantly berating ourselves until we become conscious of our intellectual ability to make better choices and not talk to ourselves that way. So it takes a moment for your brain to switch gears from beating yourself up all the time to just loving yourself and giving yourself permission to enjoy your life and be grateful for your life and to feel like a success even right now, regardless of what is physically around you. It puts you mentally in a better space to sit there and create. Like, just think if you were a student in school and you were trying to learn a subject and your teacher is berating you and insulting you and calling you horrible names: you're fat, you're ugly, you're lazy, you're not good. Imagine the voice inside of your head that always beats you up and keeps you from moving forward. Imagine that person being your actual teacher. You wouldn't be able to learn, or you wouldn't be motivated to learn or create or to do anything towards, better yourself in that environment, more than likely. So the same thing happens with us mentally when we sit down to finally, work towards our goal. We've identified the loops, we've stopped the loops. Now we're going to reprogram, but we still have this voice saying, but this isn't going to work, or you're not good enough, or you're always going to fail, or whatever. Then we're not going to be in a space to then, okay, now that I beat myself up nice and good, mentally, I'm going to go ahead and sit down and start writing, or working on my project, or go, write my diet plan or whatever. Go take the first step towards my goal because I just encourage myself so much. No, you have to reprogram your thoughts, and you have to get to a place where you're stopping yourself from having any of that negative conversation. And the way I did it was this. I don't remember exactly which video it was. I believe it was one of Eric Ho's very early videos. He was saying this analogy he gave, which I've given before in previous videos, but I love it. It moved me. Hopefully it'll move one or two of you. But basically he said that, when you go into a building under construction, when you see a building under construction in your town, in your city, whether it's a restaurant that's being constructed or a housing development, or a home or whatever, you don't walk into that building. No one in their right mind would walk into that building and start criticizing everything that's not finished in the building. Why aren't the windows done? And these ceiling tiles need to be put up, and these floor tiles should be over there, and the bathrooms don't work, and why isn't there any running water? Like, no one will walk into a building under construction and make those criticisms because they realize, obviously, the building is not finished. It is still under construction. Well, it's very important. It was very important to my process to develop, and I think it's going to be very important to a lot of your processes as well, to get to a place where you are looking at yourself as a building under construction. I know sometimes we say that a lot about ourselves. God's not done with me yet. I'm still under construction. I'm not there yet. But we still give ourselves a lot of relentless judgment, very relentless judgment. I know I caught myself calling myself very harsh things, harmful things to myself inside my mind, but I have been talking to myself that way for so many years. It just seemed normal. It seemed like love, but it didn't make me feel good. It didn't make me feel very loved. So I had to change that. I had to change how I speak to myself internally. Even if I am being quote unquote lazy, or I am being quote unquote unproductive, I'm still, you have to get to a place where you're not beating yourself up or withholding love from yourself while pouring out judgment. You have to get to a place where you're just accepting it. Hey, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm just not feeling it today. But you know what? That doesn't make me a bad person. It is what it is. I'm still going to make the most out of this day, or I'm still going to at least do this, or I'm going to, whatever the case may be. But you don't have to judge yourself and beat yourself up. And when you're doing the reprogramming, it's very easy to, every time you try to do your affirmations or your I am statements, to say, well, but you're not really that way. Stop lying to yourself. You're not really successful. You're not really a go-getter. You're not really a goal achiever. You're lazy. You've been lazy your whole life. Like, it's very easy for your ego to start battling with the new information you're feeding your mind. But you know what I always say, don't give up. Keep doing it anyway. If you've been this way for years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, it's going to take time for you to retrain your brain to stop all of these negative behaviors. But you'll notice that as soon as you start taking steps in the right direction, you'll start seeing things in your life just feel different and flow differently for you, because that energy is shifting from those low vibrating energies of apathy and shame and fear and guilt and things like that, anger, to higher vibrating emotions where you're just coming into a willingness to do whatever the mental work is that you have to do to make your life better. Because really, it's all just mental work. It's all just mental work. And once you do the mental work, you get in there and clean out the nonsense, clean out the monkey chatter, and harness your intellect. There's nothing that is beyond your reach to achieve. I'm learning that myself more and more every day, and I believe in it 1000%. Any of you who have gone back and who have watched, my videos from early on, who have been with me as one of my original, 36 subscribers that I had for the first 3 years that I had this channel, for 3 or 4 years I had this channel, that I talk about, mental illness and going through depression and bipolar myself. And by these processes I'm telling you of meditating and learning how to separate your mind and your from your body and your thought from your awareness, all these processes are things that I put into place myself that help me to take leaps and bounds in my life towards having a better life. And I probably just went on this long ass tangent without telling you at all how to reprogram. But basically, with reprogramming, you are feeding yourself with I am statements, positive visions, positive energy, all with the intent of realizing your goal. And when you are reprogramming, you are completely eradicating, completely ignoring anything that is a negative or a judgmental statement or something that you do not want. You can look up, I'm not going to go into a lot of affirmations because I don't know what your specific goals are personally. So by listing a bunch of affirmations, it may not help you, but you can look up affirmations for success, affirmations for romance, affirmations for a better family life, affirmations for whatever your goal is. And you can find a bunch of them online, YouTube, wherever, or you can even make up your own. You make that list and you use those to reprogram yourself so that mentally you are in a more conducive statement to sit down and start the process of accomplishing your goals, which we know that any goal that you're going to accomplish takes persistence. And so this process is going to need to be a persistent process. You may not wake up every day and want to do your diet plan, or wake up every day and want to work on your YouTube channel or work on your business or whatever the case may be. But by going through these steps and these processes, you can keep yourself more on the track than off the track. And that is the goal. And make your goals reasonable. So don't think that you're going to go from being a chronic procrastinator to Bob Proctor. Like, you're not. I mean, you might. Let me not limit you and what you can do and what God can do for you. You might, but more than likely you're not going to. It's going to be a process to go from that old person that doesn't get anything done and just thinks about it, or talks about it, or starts to plan it but never finish. It's going to take a while to go from that old person to this new person that every day you wake up, and regardless of if you're sleepy or not, tired or not, got enough sleep, slept well, back hurts, whatever, you still go and do your process every single day because you are already certain of the end result. You've already seen the end result, and you just gotta, do your steps that you gotta do to get to match that result, to align yourself with that result that you've already seen in your imagination. I mean, while you're going through this entire process of whether you're going through a spiritual awakening right now, or you just happened on my channel and you really just want to stop procrastinating and that's it, or maybe you happen on my channel to look at my mukbangs or my yoga videos or whatever the case may be, look at this as your starting point, and from this day forward, be determined to never walk into your building and judge what's going on. You just want to go in there, take inventory, look at what needs to be moved and rearranged or taken out altogether and replaced with new stuff, and then lovingly take care of your construction. This is your project. That's your project. Just like this right here, this is my project. You are your own project. And far be it from anyone on this earth to make you feel like less of a person because of where you are currently today versus where you think you should have been or where they think you should be. And far be it from you to do that to yourself. Like, love on yourself. Love on yourself, because if you're not loving on yourself, you're never going to feel motivated to keep on persisting towards accomplishing your goals. So that is it on Reprogramming Loops. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who has recently joined my Conscious Living community. We are up to 16,000. Oh, that was a Freudian slip, but you know what's coming. We're up to 1,616 subscribers. Thank you all so much for joining my community. I look forward to engaging with you all. Please leave me a comment if you want, telling me if you like this video. If you didn't like this video, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know if you have any specific questions about the topics that I cover. If you want to see more of some videos or less of others, I am here to help promote mental health awareness, and intellectual awareness as well. I've got to go ahead and run because I'm probably a little bit late for work. I got to get ready to go. But more light, love, peace, and abundance to you all. I am so grateful to you guys for being a part of my community, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Peace.